If you haven't watched part 1, I encourage you to do so you won't be lost in the sauce. I go over 3 reasons why they say stay away from stool land and 5 due diligence steps to prevent you from wasting your time and your money. We're going straight into my experience with this beachfront stool land. So, as I was filming my first video, the chief found out that I was there.
On our way, don't know what this is about, but we're about to see.
And they told me, oh, the chief wants to meet you and, just talk about your plans and, get to know more about you. He knows you're from the States. And I thought, oh, okay, cool, right? I was like, oh, fun, right? I don't know the culture. So, meeting the chief, I know that chiefs are a big deal. I'm happy to meet him. I get there, introduce themselves, very cordial. Everything went well. And then he started telling me about the history of what's going on the land. And he told me that a developer bought the whole land from him in 2008. And he was supposed to build a resort, right? And bring jobs to the community. Folks, I was sideswiped because all of a sudden he is pretty mad, saying that the developer needs to contact him. And he's asking me to tell the developer to contact him. And so I'm sitting there like, what? Folks, remember, I was fresh in the game. I was brand new. Now I'm sitting in front of the chief. He's telling me all of this. And I wasn't going to leave and go to the developer and have him communicate. I stopped right there. I dialed him on my phone and I gave him to the chief and they talked at that very moment because I don't want to deal with it. But by the time I leave that room, I didn't want to deal with that. Folks, he got on the phone. You're cheating me. You're cheating me. I said, okay. So now I know that the relationship between the chief and the developer is not so great. Wow. So I'm like, WTF, right? I go to the developer. I'm just like, what the heck is going on? The developer is like, oh, he shouldn't have came at you like that, and then he tells me his side of the story, right? He's saying, oh, he sold the land to me, and then he's selling the land to other people, land that he already sold to me. So I'm just like, drama for your mama. None of my business, right? I was like, okay, that's between you and him, none of my business. And I was like, so when are you going to develop the area? Because, 2008, that's a long time, right? He said, oh, in June 2022. We're in May 2023. I'll leave it at that. I start my due diligence. I get a surveyor, I do my site plan, I do the lands commission search. This lands commission search revealed that the developer's name wasn't on the 2 plots I was trying to buy, right? So we found out, we try to work everything out, found out the Lands Commission's database was incorrect. So folks, the Lands Commission can be wrong too. So we worked that out, right? Fixed it. Now the developer's name posted on the Lands Commission search. So now we're in the clear for him to sell me the land and to give me my indenture. Lo and behold, the indenture was unregisterable. So the first indenture I was given was worthless. By this time, I moved to Ghana. I moved into the coconut hut on the land. Folks, I find out about defecation. And I'm like, what? I'm from the West. I'm from Los Angeles. So there's public restrooms for that. And we do have homeless people that, do that. But for the most part, there's nothing provided for the community to use the bathroom. So they just boo-boo on the beach, right? You can watch this video if you actually want to see the guy do it. It was not planned, but we got it on camera. So when I find this out, I'm like, okay, this is too much. Now the community is telling me bathrooms were supposed to be built, right, a long time ago from the developer. So I go to the developer again, I bring this up. I'm like, what is going on? There's just defecation literally on the beach. Like I couldn't walk. I went to go walk with my neighbor. She told me, oh no, put shoes on. I was like, I wanted the sand in between my toes, She's like, oh no, it's not that clean. I'm like, what? Folks, that's how I found out about the boo-boo, the defecation on the beach. I went to the developer, brought that up to him. He's like, oh, don't worry, I'm going to, build restrooms eventually. And he's like, and you know what? I'm going to bring Germans, I'm going to bring white people to come and teach them how to use the bathroom. First of all, why are you bringing white people to teach black people how to use the bathroom? That comment threw me. In my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, I see who I'm dealing with, right? And I said, why don't we teach the community? People of the community teach each other how to use the restroom. What? By this time, I have my second indenture because the first one was not registrable. July 8th, I send my indentures to Lands Commission, ready to start my registration process. July 8th, the representative tells me that he needs a letter, a written consent form from the chief authorizing this transaction to be done. I said, okay. He was like, according to the head lease, clause 2B or 2C, we need a written consent. I'm like, okay. Folks, remember, the relationship between the chief and the developer is not good. But see, now I'm being affected by the relationship now. So now I have to get involved. So I go to the chief. I explain to him what I need. He says, I'll do whatever you need. I'll get you whatever you need. I'll sign whatever. I'll write whatever. But I need to get what I need first. I'm being used as leverage again, right? And at this point, this is beyond me. All I know is I need this to get my registration. If I don't get it, we're gonna have a problem, right? So July 9th, I text the chief about the document. July 19th, I meet with the chief using me as a bargaining tool. August 13th, I get a text from the chief saying the document's ready. August 14th, I get the document from the developer. Folks, listen to me. This document is what all the purchasers will need to register their land. Was that my responsibility to get? No. I'm living in my coconut hut. The community wants the area developed. We want our area developed. I see a truck coming back and forth bringing dirt, lots of dirt, and I'm excited. I'm like, ooh, it's being developed. Yeah, someone else is building. Come to find out, it's a church being built. In our indenture, it says the area is for residential only. Come to find out, they're building a church. And then there's another church a couple of plots down the road. There's my coconut hut. Church that's being built. Another church here. I'm like, and I don't mind, I mean, build what you want, right? But in our lease, it says area is for residential. So I'm like, what's going on? I called the developer. I said, this is going on. Did you know about this? Clueless. He said, I'm going to put a stop to this. Call the chief. Boom. They stopped building. So that showed me, if the people of the community know eventually they're moving, why would they build a church? Why would they build an organization if they know they're leaving? At that moment, I realized the community does not like the developer. The relationship is not good. They don't respect him. They thought they were going to have a resort. They thought they were going to have jobs. And I said, now I see. I stopped an encroachment of our organization building a building. When I say they don't like this guy, they don't like him. Like, on site, they don't like him. September 18th rolls around. I'm still living my best life in the coconut. Thinking my land registration process has started, folks, I get contacted September 18th. Your indenture is not registerable. This is my second non-registerable indenture. I said, why? The portion of the land he has no authority to sell you. Folks, and it's just, it's a 10 by 80 foot, it's 800 square feet. That little section, which I also have a video about, you can watch the details. So you can watch the details of that. That little section is preventing me from my deed for getting my land registered. I said, okay, come to find out, it wasn't just my portion. It was the whole coast. A portion of the whole coast. The whole coast. That he didn't have authority to sell. For what I'm told, when it's beachfront land, 30 feet from the shore, no one can buy, no one can occupy, get it. I was told they measured 50 feet back, which is why it's an issue. But the further you go down the coast, the wider the wider the land that he has no authority to sell is. And I'm just like, okay, folks, if I did not continue with my land registration process, we wouldn't have even found out about the land, the portion of land that he has no authority to sell, but he's selling. Taking our money gladly. Folks, he didn't even know, right? But what does that mean? He has to go back to who? The chief. They already don't have a good relationship. And that's what brings me to this point here. I'm waiting. What day was it? November 8th, I was told by the developer that they worked it out and that now we just have to wait for the registration process to start. To complete. When is that going to be? No one knows. My lawyer said it can be up to 3 years. So far, it's been 7 months as of today. Folks, my development project is not happening anytime soon, folks. Anytime soon. Now, the whole community is waiting because none of us can register our land in our names. So we have to wait. Leslie, why are you telling us all this?
I said I wasn't going to say nothing.
Honestly, I wasn't going to say nothing because I just accept it. I'm like, hey, we just got to wait. I mean, that makes my life more simple. I don't have to tap into my influence, my sphere of influence. I don't have to raise capital. I'm like, oh, well, I guess that's on hold, right? The developer of this area, his name is Benjamin Gagba. He's a proclaimed lawyer. He says he has built in 8 countries. He owes me money. I have brought him referrals. And he has not paid me, and our contract is breached. I've offered payment plans if it's a little too tough for him. I've contacted his lawyer, so it's not like I was just coming out of nowhere. No, this guy has not paid me my money. So not only do I can't even get what I paid for, which is a registered land, he's not even giving me what is due. I have brought him $84,000 in referral money, $48,000 in helping him close business. By the time they pay off their land, that's another $48,000. That's $132,000 brought to him from my persona, from me sharing my experience, showing the land, right? Taking my persona and my content creation and bringing business, right? 2 of my referrals, never been to Africa, saw my video, said, we trust you. They didn't even know, folks. Do you hear what I'm saying? They don't know me. They just saw what they saw. They liked it. I seemed trustworthy. Boom, agreements are signed. And they have paid off their land, okay? Another one I helped close. Now this person actually came down to the coconut hut. I gave him a tour and everything. He was unsure when he got to the land. By the time he left, he said, I need to hurry up and buy because I don't want to miss out. Folks, guess what? He has been calling Ben. No response. But guess who's been talking to him on the phone? Me. And guess who knows that this individual is upset? He has to take a flight from California to Ghana to sort things out because he's not being contacted. What? Through my due diligence as a fully paid foreign customer, I help fix the Lands Commission database. I get the authorization letter that all future purchasers need to make Ben in compliance with clause 2B or C in the head lease, in the 99-year head lease. I prevent a major encroachment. Through my second unregisterable indenture, we find out that he has no authority to sell the first part of the beachfront. I have brought him $84,000, or $48,000 on its way.
Are you kidding me?
So it's time for another chat. So I call Ben and I say, at this time I wrote him a letter wanting to know the status on the land. They said November 8th, everything started. Cool. And, he said, you know what? Nothing's black and white in this earth. If you ask anyone, they will tell you this is not a big deal. So I ask you folks, because it's your money that he's going to take, right? Is it a big deal that someone that's selling you land doesn't have the authority to sell it to you and a foreign fully paid customer finds out the issue? Put your comments in the comment section. This is the same person that offered me my $24,000 back. He can't even give me $1,250 for one of my referrals. Do you think he's going to give me $24,000 back? So obviously, I stopped referring people to him in September of 2020. I've been cleaning up after him for almost 2 years. This is crazy. Folks, I'm going to end with this. I'm an Uber driver. That is my main source of income. And that's how I paid for both properties in Ghana with debt leveraging through my corporation. In the last year and a half, I contributed $221,000 to Ghana, $70,000 through this video with Calvin Daniels, $60,000 with my own video, $48,000 with business that will be closing, and $43,000 of my own money. Look what we did with Unity Through Community, because I know I could not have done this without you, small mighty crew. We did that with less than 4,000 subscribers. This channel is not even big. Folks, with my persona and my content creation, and with you guys watching my videos, sharing my videos, getting the word out, we have contributed $221,000, folks. And that's with my hands tied, with things and negligence in my way. Can you imagine? Let me just share this with you. Since I started my website, I have gotten 196 inquiries regarding the beachfront land. When I found out in September 18th of last year, I stopped referring people because I didn't feel comfortable, because I knew that he wasn't registered yet and no one can get their land certificates or deeds, whoever's land is on the coast. And I was like, you know what? Let me look at my website statistics. 99 of the 196 people came after September 18th. Folks, when I tell you the whole beachfront, that whole property, I would have sold already. Because I got, not only that, I've got 2 communities that wanted to buy in bulk. Not families here and there. 2 communities that wanted to buy in bulk. I didn't come here to play no games. I came here with an idea of creating generational wealth with my family, returning to the motherland and contributing. I'm like, they call it micro-influencer. What? This is exciting, actually. Post-chattel slavery, nations are built on the backs of the middle class. I can only talk about African American, fundamental Black American. I can only talk about that because that's what I am. If we were a nation in its own, we would be the 10th richest nation in the world. That shows you the power that we can bring to anywhere we go if we unite. And I appreciate the ancestors, the ones that have fought for decades in the States, for us, for our generation to have these opportunities to go back and forth and go to different countries and decide where we want to contribute. Like, what? Ashe. Grateful. And even to the generation before me, the baby boomers and the generational X that's retiring right now, they paid the price too. They're around Ghana and different countries in Africa. They deserve rest. We stand on their shoulders. But this new generation, the older half of millennials, the group I belong to, we're not tired and we're not retired. I believe it's a huge disservice to ignore the middle class. The fact that there is just the regulation is not there. I tell you, whoever decides, whatever country, especially in West Africa, decides to step up their regulation, make the process smooth, it's about to be a big deal, folks. Because if I could do what I've done with you guys in the last year and 5 months, imagine if everything went according to plan. Can you imagine? Just 90 plots times $12,000. What is that? What is that actually? That's over $1 million with just one development project. Oh my God. Do you guys see what? I hope you hear me correctly. There's potential, man. There's potential. And whoever wants to do this right, it's going to be a beautiful thing. And unity through community is how we get there. Let's stop chasing money. Let's stop chasing this man-made system. Hello? Let's value how to win friends and influence people. Let's value unity through community. Let's value integrity. Folks, the money will follow. With all that said, folks, it's time to go look into East Africa. Who wants to come with me? I'm going to Tanzania and Zanzibar, July 18th through the 27th, 2024. Can you imagine the Serengeti safari, watching the animals in their natural habitat, then flying in an air balloon, seeing the motherland from a different perspective, walking on clean beaches with turquoise water, hanging out with the indigenous people and learning from their way of life? I'm going and you are invited. There's 19 spots left. We maxed out at 25, folks. There is a personal link, my custom link for this trip in the description box. If you don't use this link, you will not be with us, okay? Thanks for hanging with me. Let's elevate. Beautiful people, welcome to vision-reality.com, your authentic Kente cloth liaison. Legacy is expressed in the hand weaving technique passed down from generation to generation in Africa through Kente cloth. Let us wear legacy. Folks, I have videos now. There's videos of the chairman of Kente cloth, Stephen Amofa, sharing the story, the meanings, and the origins of each Kente. Folks, if you don't know what Kente cloth is, you can read about it or watch about it because there's videos as well. This update has made me excited. So you can also visit the website just to learn what Kente cloth is, the significance, how it is made, and hey, there's a little extra stuff there too. So the online store is updated and open. If you'd like to donate to my journey, you can buy a t-shirt, Unity through Community.